Yeah, looking forward to this second half. It's going to be interesting to see if Mangere East are able to sort of clean up those errors that they had in the first half. The only thing really holding them back from being in this match. So 12 points to 4, they're still right in it. So interesting to see what the halftime talk would have been. And no doubt from Matt Pilmatroy, it would have been all about just, boys, clean up the discipline.
Yep.
Let's stop dropping the ball coming out of yardage, because that's putting us under a fair bit of pressure. And you probably saw in the fitness levels at the end of that game that Mangere East kind of felt the toll, I guess, of that defensive work. So interesting to see how they start the second one. But for Mount Albert, well, it's just about being probably a little bit more clinical in good ball situations, finishing off some of those chances, because they are getting starting plenty of sets inside their attacking half. They just need to be able to finish them off. I thought Marcus Fraser,
yeah, just going to say, mate, yeah,
added
good boy.
some real energy since coming back into this one, and a couple of the big boys off the bench, and also from Mangere East, a couple of the big guys there having really good games again. Vili Tukia's having a really influential game, and off the bench, I thought Samuelu has been really good, along with Lavamai. So we are about to get back underway here in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and it will be the Russell and Gordon contractors, Mount Albert Lions, who get things underway. And they're all off the pack fence. A little bit of a hop and a step from the big fella, and then hits the line, goes straight through. Good tackle from Pakiito down low though. Passini now, so straight away Mount Albert with plenty of energy, and the Hawks, they need to match them here in defence. Fraser shifts the ball out towards the right. Dunn finds Snell back on the inside, takes it up over the 40.
Yeah, they've started hard and fast.
Rapati now with some footwork takes it to the line just short of halfway here. So Mangere East starting to find their feet defensively in this one. Dunn gets the kick away. It's up high, down towards 2.
Great kick.
Who drops the initial one. It's gone backwards zone. He's got a little bit of grass in front of him. Needs to be a little bit careful though. The chase is pretty good, led by Corey Sita. So a really good set there from Mount Albert, and professionally finished as well with a good kick off the boot of Henry Dunn.
Good run in there. Sized up the gap and hit it as hard as he could. Yeah,
and
he's managed to milk
there,
that one well.
It's good work from David Fa'atiti, just battling to get that quick play of the ball, and in the end gets a penalty off Rapati.
Ball coming over towards the camera gear.
A kick for touch up over the CTAS gear here as Grant Collingwood ducks down. A big shout out to our filming crew from CTAS, doing a wonderful job as always to bring you this live stream.
It's hard work out here today.
Get things back underway. Up over halfway they go. Latu in the tackle, just wrestling him over. Lavamai spreads back towards the middle. Another good carry from Fa'atiti.
He's attracted a couple of defenders all day, that young man.
35 out from the line. Lavamai heads towards the left. Ropati in the tackle. Machu misses out the first one, heads towards the left edge. Afoa puts the fend on Sita. Very close to the sideline out there on the left edge.
He showed good upper body strength there just to hold him off.
Purcell back towards the middle of the park. Tukia brings in 3, stays on the knees for a quick play of the ball. Great work from the big fella there. Howie Brown now on the ball. Brown, Jinx, goes back in, has taken a little deflection, scooped up at the back, and now they're into a little bit of open field here.
Not sure if that was the right option, mate.
And you've thought there, Troy, you've just alluded to it, there's probably maybe some options on the outside there that they could have looked at. Maybe the little kick, not
he had
quite
players
the
on.
there.
I wasn't sure what the count was, and maybe it was at 5, and he's put the little grubber through, but it just didn't come off, and he had 2-3 players on his outside there, and it may have been a better option. But anyway, back into the grind.
Snell coming into the middle of the park looking for work. Cut down and a good tackle on the 40. Fraser to Ropati. He finds Ulupau. Takes it forward. Good work from the Mangere East defence there to get him onto his back. Slow that play the ball down a little bit. Now Wallace dinks a little kick in over the top, which is found grass. The winger was up in the line too. Back to retrieve. Looks up and it's a pretty good chase from Mount Albert. And the 2 halves leading the way there. Henry Dunn and Trent Wallace.
The young fullback for the Burger King Hawks has been busy today. Good offload.
Lavamai now keeps play alive. And this is a really good run here. And it was Ari, I think. In fact, it was the winger, Sioseta Whanua. So the Hawks now approach halfway. Brown shifts it on. But good first up contact from Olopau, finished off by Ropati.
Ropati's been busy since he's been on too. And a big shout out to his mum and dad who are in Italy at the moment, I believe, and not down here at the Mangere East Hawks game.
Pakiito now gets on the end of a chip and chase, and there's danger out wide here, but unfortunately Purcell's put the ball down, and it was really on there for the home side. They created a gap out there on the left, a clever little chip over the top from Machu, regathered by Pakiito, but just lacking the execution to finish that one off. But some positive signs there for the Burger King Mangere East Hawks.
And it's fabulous, as we've said earlier, down here at the Mangere East Hawks home ground. The ground's really stood up. If you're looking for some action, come down and join us for the second half. If, however, you're watching it live on our stream and Facebook, please share and comment. Give us the big likes, the big thumbs up, and get all the rallies and aunties, uncles involved.
So Albert now, again working out in Taulu, finds a little bit of space, and there's numbers out on the right, but it's spilt. Put down by Jordan Tua, so unlucky there for the Mount Albert Lions. They had created the gap. It was a decent pass, but Tua's just put it down around the knees there. Mangere East now pack down a scrum on the 40.
And that's kind of hard to say with a mouthful of lollies, isn't it, Corey?
Not too sure what you're talking about, sorry, Troy.
As we get ready for the scrum now, and the Mangere East Hawks get ready to feed. Let's hope that they can execute a plan here and put some points on the board. Gone to the back door.
Good tackle just to knock Two off his feet. Lavamai into dummy half. He's added a bit of spark since coming into this one, Purcell. And he looks a real danger man out there on the edge, and they're definitely favouring that left edge, the Mangere East Hawks. Tokia takes the ball forward again, breaking that first one. Bringing in three defenders. Lavamai now, they've got front foot ball here, the Hawks. What can they do with it? The big fellas starting to get rolling. Another good carry forward there by Ari. Finds Brown. There's numbers out here on the right edge. Onto the ball now. Nice little play there to find Salisi. Two now dancing around. Two still going. He's getting pretty close to the line. Here is Two.
What's the ref called?
And we do wait for confirmation from our referee as to exactly what's gone on there.
You can hear the call from the sideline there about patience.
So Mangere East retain possession, very close to the line now. Pakiito. Lavamai shifts it off to Fa'atiti.
Yeah, and they probably do need to get deeper on the attack. They're going to penetrate.
And they need something a little bit creative here. The Hawks, Brown on the ball. He looks threatening when he's got it. But it's about finding those right options on the edges for the Hawks. They haven't been able to do it too often so far today. Lavamai finds Machu. Purcell put under pressure by a ball that was just up high and allowed Corey Sita to race out of the line and get that hit on there. So they're set deep to the right, and that's where the ball's got to go. Perhaps they try a high one here. Machu dribbles one in behind, and it's a sort of nothing little kick. Really, that Ta'alu picks up now. And they're probably lucky not to concede a few more metres on that one there. But, Troy, you wonder if the short kicks to go right now, they've put a couple of them through, and Cortez at the back seems to be pretty on to them.
They've got the ball back there, so a lucky break. The pressure's off. Referee saying play on.
And now there's a big gap out here on the right, and surely they execute here at the Mangere East Hawks. Toi Pelotu into space. They've still got the numbers advantage if they can get there. Mount Albert scrambling to get back. Slow play the ball in the end, not what they were after. Pakiito. Brown steps left, right. Comes infield, eventually tackled by Tua.
They got a full count too on the tackle. Referee had waved that back to 0, so he's dropped it on the inside.
Fa'atiti now commanding plenty, eventually met in a big tackle over the top by Tua. Brown on the ball, steps inside, tackled by Price. Lavamai shifts it into Tokia now. Big carry up the middle again, attracting three defenders. They're close now, the Hawks. What can they do with it? Lavamai into dummy half, spreads out towards the left. Machu, spiral ball out wide, but Sita picks it off. And again,
picked off, red early, and all that pressure now diffused as the Lions start to bring it out from inside their half. Not a bad hit from that defender, couldn't make out the number, but the runner was knocked sideways.
So they've got plenty of energy about them here, the Mangere East Hawks. Playing some really good footy. They've probably had the dominance in the second half so far as they turn Tua back in on the inside. Nice footwork from the big fella, gets the ball away out the back, little flick pass, Benji Marshall-esque.
Oh, you'll be getting a free drink on that one tonight, Corey.
Kick is charged down now, and another opportunity for the Hawks. Ball still in play. Sita does well to turn and get back. And not too sure if our tackle count has restarted or not, but Sita's going to play the ball. Taulu coming in for work, and he looks dangerous when he gets on the ball. Has been really good at the back in terms of reading the kicks as well from the Mangere East Hawks. Mark Graham now comes in. The outside back starting to get involved, carry a bit of the workload for this Mount Albert Lions team, and they have been made to work it off their line a fair bit in the second half. Fraser there darts.
You know, for the best part of those 10 minutes that have sort of been in that second half, Corey, the Hawks have been camped down inside the Lions territory, and this is the first time out for them, so let's see what they do with the football.
So Fraser shifts it on to Wallace, who puts a little kick through. It's in behind Tui Polotu. We wait to see if it is going to hold up. Just goes dead, so a restart on the 20. Not the finish to the set they were looking for there at the Mount Albert Lions, but they have had to do a fair bit of work coming out of yardage so far in this game, so particularly in this half. So probably a break at the very least for them, which they'll be happy about. Back underway now. Yeah, and just a little effort there at the end from Paulos Latu just to spin the tackle around and try and slow things down. I think the call from the referee, dangerous. Just putting the player into a bit of a compromising position.
Lions getting a wee bit of a break there. Their middles have been working overtime. Good strong kick as we wait for it to land on the... No, it's gone past the ARL studios. New ball on, courtesy of Stephen Footballs, and thank you for their support at the Auckland Rugby League. So good wrestle on the tackle there. Trying to get up the... speed up the ruck speed. Play the ball.
TT onto the ball. It's been really good since coming on. Some really damaging carries from the big fella in the 17. Lavomai spreads one towards his left, but they need some variety in their attack here, and they need some variety on last tackle plays. As we see a costly error there.
You know, all of that good work, all of that effort, they get down here, they've got a nice little tackle count on, they've got a wee bit of pressure they're starting to mount, and then it's diffused, and they've got to start again.
And it's those errors that can really decide whether you're a team that's in trouble near the bottom of the table or a team that's, I guess, a little bit of peace of mind somewhere in the middle of the table. And the Hawks have not done a lot wrong today other than just sloppy errors. They've been a lot better in the second half.
Yep.
That's the first one of note. But if they can clean it up here, the Hawks, we've got a game on our hands. But at this stage, Mount Albert well and truly winning the arm wrestle simply because they're playing the cleaner football. They're making Mangere East do a lot of work, and that's going to tell in the final 20 minutes of this game. You get the feeling that Mount Albert may just be able to run over them if they're not able to improve that ball control now.
He's offloaded the wrong man.
Hassini, Troy, you mentioned, good and strong in the tackle, but the offload to guy in the wrong jersey. So Mangere East retain possession, and Mount Albert certainly guilty of a couple of sins on the ball as well, giving away possession far too easily, and I know coaches Phil Gordon and Cody Walker won't be happy with this so far, with what they've seen. They come off a draw last week against the Papakura Sea Eagles.
I have to say, the Burger King Mangere East Hawks, their engine rooms work well today, the big boys.
Break out there on the left, and it's Salisi who's gone very close.
Great line speed there from the Lions to come off the D real quick, shut that down. Mangere East need to get some shape here and use the ball. And again.
Yeah, again, that kick in behind. You see there, even if Wallace isn't there, Troy, you think the fullback's probably got that one covered. And looks like a tactic
They
that
got it back.
Mount Albert are well and truly awake to, but as we say that, they've dropped it, coming out of yardage yet again. And now Lava Mai into dummy half.
Three on the tackle there.
So they need a result here, do the Hawks.
Slow play the ball, got to be quicker, let's go, let's go.
At least in terms of their confidence, they need something. Four breaks out on the left, just a little ankle tap there. Keeps them from a clean stroll over the line. They're pushing hard, and Mount Albert at this stage, unrelenting in defence. Brown on the ball, steps, dummies, back inside, now looks to burrow low. Mount Albert get their numbers, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in the tackle. Lavamai pointing. Misses out Pakito, finds Machu, they've got numbers, surely this time, a little tip over the top, Tui Pelotu, and it has gone forward.
Wasn't much in that. And that option there was a lot better than going to the ground or to the air with a little chip. And they managed to maintain the pressure there as they were attacking the line. And even though they didn't manage to execute it, the centre and the winger there are high-fiving one another. Looks like that'll be the option. They get the ball back. I want to thank Tash and all of the people down here today at Mangere East Hawks for hosting us, along with the Mount Albert Lions. A lot of effort goes into doing these games, and to her executive team and all the volunteers, much love. Thank you very much.
So Wallace feeds the scrum. Mount Albert once again in this game coming off their line. And a credit to Mount Albert's goal line defence, held really strong through a number of sets consecutively on their line.
Yeah, Cody will take some positives out of that. They've certainly been worked overtime down there in the red zone. And now trying to run it out hard. And good break.
Passini now taking it forward.
Got the next wide was the call.
Miski rucks it out. Finds Price. Takes it up over the 40. Up towards halfway now, Miski. Spreads it out to Dunn, who goes high. Bit of pressure here on 2 at the back. Well fielded by the fullback, and he's broken free. He's into a little bit of space here now with a staggered line. But Dion Snell says, you're not going anywhere, son. Puts him down on about the 35-metre line.
Yeah, the fullbacks for the Mangere East Hawks has done well today and got the inside tip from Val. Came in off the wing and said he wanted to play fullback just a couple of weeks ago, and it's just about owns the spot now. Great run.
Four has broken, and he's got support on either side. Finds Tui Pelotu there, but it's a really good tackle.
Quick play the ball
from Mount Albert, and a quick play the ball they get. Lavamai finds Machu. They've got space out here on the right edge if they can execute. Brown on the ball now. Brown puts a little bend up, gets the ball away. Excellent offload. And in the corner, I think it is David Faititi who has gone over, but boy, that was fantastic play. We've been critical of the Mangere East Hawks for their decisions in attack so far in this game, Troy, but that one was spot on, and a lovely offload at the end from Howard Brown to finish it all off. The Hawks hit back, 12 points to 8 with kick to come. And we've got a game on here in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership.
We're now back in the match, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. That certainly closed it up, and each time now, Corey, that they've decided not to go to ground with the chip or to the air, they've gone to the edge, and they've managed to not only put pressure on and mount the pressure, but they've executed really well there and put some points on the board. So the boys now will be walking back. I dare say their energy levels and body language will start to change, and let's hope now that they can build on that. Mount Albert, however, will be addressed by Junior over there, the head trainer, and he'll be sending out the conversation from Codes, and this must stop now. Time to get back into the game.
And a big shout out to the other co-coach today, Phil Gordon, who we will have some involvement with later in the year with Kelston Boys High School. Really looking forward to getting back into the SAS College Rugby League competition as well, Troy. We will be bringing you 3 live stream games of that a little later in the year, I think through the first 3 weeks of August from memory.
Straight after school holidays, mate. I think we do a couple of rounds, and then we'll have the grand finals, and that'll be one big day of just absolutely top-class cream rugby league for all of our kids who are in school playing in the College Rugby League competition.
Kick goes just down towards the left. So the score remains the Russell and Gordon Contractors Mount Albert Lions 12 and the Burger King Mangere East Hawks 8. We touched on the College Rugby League, Troy, of course. It's where our live streaming initiative started a couple of seasons ago. We've since seen a lot of those players progress through not only into the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership competition, but the Junior Warriors. We've seen Swani Hufwanga get some game time for them this year, and a number of other boys playing overseas. Of course, Bo Courts, a real star for St. Paul's in the last few years, so great to see those boys advancing through, and looking forward to getting back into that. As we get back underway here at Walter Massey Park, and we are into now the final 25 minutes of this match. And what a match it is shaping up to be now, as the Hawks, with a little spring in their step now, back to within one score. 4 points is the gap. Lavo Mai darts out of dummy half, but Atiti, ill-advised offload. The ball has been stripped loose.
Oh, he's going to let it go.
And a
He
very
wasn't sure himself.
questionable offload there, too. I thought it might have been knocked on, but anyway, play on is the call, and it's offload. Happy stuff. Hot potato up the middle of the park. This is a fantastic try to the Mangere East Hawks. And out of
They're going
nowhere,
off.
the Hawks are about to be in front. Look at that. The crowd's getting involved in the celebration. What a try. And in the end, it's finished by
Look at the
Ntane
supporter
V.
going off. Oh, absolutely fantastic stuff, mate.
Rugby league for the ages, and we look back here, Troy, there's one man not celebrating with them. It's the big fella, Vili Tukia. He's having a well-earned breather. But what a try for the home side here, and the crowd now really starting to get involved. It's going to be giving this team a lot of energy. And a lovely play there by the Hawks. We saw about probably 5 or 6 offloads. A bit of a questionable one down here. Perhaps looked like it went forward, but a referee called play on.
And, mate, as soon as they went Fiji time, the ball was going over the back, through the legs, out the side, back pass, great offloads, and everyone was there. Everyone was backing up. There was somebody to pass to. They managed to get the ball on the chest, and from that, they've gone straight beneath the crossbar, the uprights of the SAS Fox Memorial pads, brought to us by Gym Leader, and the kick to come, and dare say that this will be a gimme. No different to getting the... Oh, I was going to go there with a bit of sponsor chat, but no, we'll let them do the kick in peace.
And Brown to attempt the conversion from in front of the sticks. Never have too much sponsor chat. Big thank you to all those who support not only the Auckland Rugby League and bringing us this live stream, but the individual clubs as well, as Brown puts the kick over from in front. And all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, the Burger King Mangere East Hawks have a 14-12 lead over the Russell Gordon Contractors Mount Albert Lions. Their first lead of the match, the Hawks. And
Yeah,
it comes off an incredible try, really. A series of offloads and an eventual try up the guts from the dummy half.
Been a fantastic game, and they managed to get their execution down, and they put points on the board. So big ups to both teams now in regards to the last parts of the second half, and I think we're going to see everybody step up a level now. Ball's gone back.
Yeah,
Referee says
sloppy
play on.
Kick reception there. The Hawks lucky to survive that one, and Tukia making the most of his increased energy, given that he didn't run to celebrate with the team, just a casual stroll back to halfway for the big fella. It's not his job to score the tries, nor is it to congratulate those who do.
Settle down. Big guys score tries.
Spoken like a true front rower here, and speaking of front rowers, Mangere East boys doing a nice job out of yardage here. Lavo Mai here with a good carry. 22-year-old, played with the Hawks since 2014, formerly of Papatoetoe Panthers. Lavo Mai, the other Lavo Mai, shifts to the left. Machu finds R4 back up the middle of the park. Big contact there from Passini. Just short of the halfway, but things going to plan so far for the Hawks. They get the kick away from Brown. Graham's back. Good read there at the back from Graham to, well, it sounded like a Hawk actually.
Oh, right run. He's through. He's gone.
And Mangere East scrambled to recover, but a lovely run there from Mark Graham, another of the Mount Albert players in the Junior Warriors system here, along with the likes of Aidan Ackland.
The Hawks have landed. You were talking about progression earlier with some of the players, you know, coming through the grades, and I'd like to say, Corey, you, my little friend, we've progressed as well from college rugby league, and here we are at the SAS Fox.
As Wallace now puts on a little dance. Latu now, and there's a gap out towards the left. Mangere East do their best to scramble, but Tua's going to go over. So a perfect reply here from the Mount Albert Lions after conceding the lead for the first time in this match. Their reply all started with an excellent kick reception from Mark Graham, who read the kick really well and then found some open grass. He went about 30 metres untouched, where they were eventually tackled, but in the end found Mangere East just wanting out there on the left edge. It was a fairly good effort from, I think it was Tui Pelotu, to scramble across, but just a little sidestep inside from Tua, and it's enough to get them over the line. So MangereEastVMtAlbert hit back 16 points to 14 with a kick to come from the boot of Graham.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work and toil in that first part of the second half, and that one against the grain. MangereEastVMtAlbert certainly, as you just said, executed superbly. They've put points on the board, and it'll be interesting now to see how the Mangere East Hawks, after their short-lived party and Yahoo down the far end, how they respond now for the rest of the game. Beautiful day down here. The sport's been absolutely fabulous, and big shout out to Valerie, young Val, the young lady who supports Tash here at the Mangere East Hawks. She was out first thing this morning. Corey helped me put the bolsters out, and it hasn't stopped. I think she stayed here all night and has been going since 6. So big ups to you, and much love to the all of the supporters, and especially our volunteers that help deliver the Auckland Rugby League games at all grades across the region.
So Graham to attempt this conversion to the left of the uprights. Strikes it pretty well, straight down and over the black dot. So the Russell and Gordon contractors, MangereEastVMtAlbert Lions 18, and Burger King Mangere East Hawks 14. We've got about 15 minutes remaining in this round 13 SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Clash. One of 4 games we are bringing you live and free to air this weekend online, aucklandleague.co.nz. Tomorrow we're going to be bringing you a Women in League extravaganza, 3 games live streams, and games, of course, of all ages played out there. So if you can't get out to the ground, do join in. Our feature game for the day will be the Richmond ladies up against Mangere.
He's got it.
And as play gets back underway there, almost the kick out on the full.
Just about slipped over the sideline, I think. He slipped over a couple of times, that boy out of there on the right wing.
So interesting to see how Mangere East reply here. It's crucial they do so in positive fashion. MangereEastVMtAlbert now starting to get a little bit of a roll on in the middle.
They're starting to get urgent too.
Joseph Price
Very
there
urgent.
puts some footwork on. Where's a high shot, but they keep going. Fraser now finds Tua, and Tua now, good chance to set his brother up out wide. Paulos Latu, dummies, keeps going, but foot into touch is the rule. It's the controversial one. The MangereEastVMtAlbert crowd not enjoying that one down here on the sideline. It looked like Latu was into a bit of space.
They have called him back.
And it was a foot into touch, so the flag went up. But some good play there from the Lions out on the left edge. All started with Jared Tua.
Touchy was right there.
Yeah, it's a good call. I think we did see the foot just going to touch there from Latu.
So there's a bit of a conversation over there as the trainer gone in. Just off screen, can't see, there's a bit of a tension happening with the player down to the left-hand side as we're getting ready to set the scrum.
I think it may be Jared Tua. It is. It's receiving a little bit of attention there from the trainer. And Jared, one of these guys that's played in the higher levels, played for the Burleigh Bears over in the Queensland Cup, and we mentioned also played for the Auckland Vulcans in 2013 when they were still the Vodafone Warriors feeder team in the New South Wales Cup as well. Now back home, running his own building firm, I understand, and doing very well for himself. And Jared getting walked back towards the scrum, and it looks like he is going to stay on and take his spot in the scrum. So maybe it's a little lower limb injury there for Jared. We'll keep an eye on that one. But in the meantime, the Hawks are going to get play restarted. About 13 minutes remaining here at Walter Massey Park, and it's an early spread. Purcell just slips and dove on by Dunn. And very close to being forced out over the sideline there. Play on is the call. Up they go, and they wisely head back infield. Purcell hands on the ball. Passini and Tua. And a tackle.
Oh.
Good first up contact there from Joseph Price and Troy. I really think Joseph Price, a player who could possibly split this game open with his footwork at the line and ability to ball play, so keep an eye on that when the Lions do get the ball. But in the meantime, some of the defence
just running into chest plates, left, right and centre. Felt that a little bit, shaking it off.
Latu keen to make up for the old foot and touch a couple of minutes ago with a big shot there.
Good
as
kick.
Graham drops back and a nice
the eagle, the Hawks have landed. I nearly said an eagle,
I
but
think there's a group of them down there by the look of it, Troy, and well, they're enjoying giving Mark Graham a hard time. Not that it's affecting him. He's had an excellent second half.
good return there. Still going.
Ball has spilt loose now and picked up by Tokia, who
Oh.
takes it. Big run there and a brave tackle from Snell up high. Joseph Price there with a bit of a swinging arm, brings him down eventually. Plenty of pointing going out towards this right edge here. Brown now on the ball. Brown misses one out. Heads
He's
back
dropped it
in
back
field.
on the inside.
So here come the Hawks again, looking to keep this potential upset alive. Brown into dummy half. Brown darts. Little bit of room early. Eventually taken in a three-man tackle by the Lions to slow that one down. Latu in over the top, just wrestling that upper body. Toipulotu feeds play back towards the middle. Lavo Mai. Very close. Brown.
They have the call wide. Oh, and he's thrown it right to the Lions
Picked
player.
off
And he's
here, and
gone.
it's Corey Sita into a little bit of space here, and there's only one Hawk within the vicinity, and it's a fantastic
No,
chase
let
there.
him go. Sweeped on him.
And credit to Whenua there getting back to do it, but it's not over yet because there is a holding down in that one, and we're going to have a sin binning. Indeed we are, and it's Whenua that's going to go to the bin, so just that little second effort there to play the ball, slow things down, and
He kind of knew he was already walking in that direction before the ref came over and had the
that's right.
chat.
He sort of almost gave himself a sin binning there, I
Yeah.
dare say, but probably saved his team a try. So it does mean that Mangere East are going to play pretty much the remainder of this match with 12 men.
It's going to turn into a tough day in the office, so they'll need to double time and extra effort.
So here we go. Not only do they have the 4-point deficit to try and overcome now the Hawks, but also the fact that they're playing with 12 men now as Wallace goes out of dummy half, and straight away they're going to be made to pay with Wallace just going out of dummy half there, making the most of a tired Mangere East line. And that, you get the feeling, could be the killer blow in this one. There's still plenty of time left for the Hawks. But given they've just gone down to 12 men for a professional foul, you think that is kind of a killer blow there. Takes the gap out to 8 with kick to come. But a heads-up play there from Wallace out of dummy half, just spotting the fact that the markers possibly weren't quite where they needed to be on that occasion. He darts out and gets the try for the Mount Albert Lions. And a credit to the Lions, who have had to overcome a bit of adversity in this second half. Back to playing some confident footing now.
Absolutely, and I'd like to welcome in all of the viewers from not just around Auckland, the Auckland region, around New Zealand, but also the big fan base that we've got following from Sydney and Brisbane. And I know there'll be a Lions supporter over there in the Gold Coast who's a die-hard supporter of the Mount Albert Lions, young Lyle Burns. So welcome aboard, son. I hope you're enjoying the live stream here from CTAS, our stream partners, brought to you by the Auckland Rugby League, sponsored by SAS Sports.
So Graham now to attempt the conversion. Pretty much identical spot as his last one, which he had no issues with, straight over the black dot.
Body language looks good. I think he's going to strike this sweetly, and it's going to sail between the uprights, no problem whatsoever.
Early prediction there from you, Troy, and do hope the Hardy curse doesn't affect young Mark on this occasion. And over it goes, and perhaps your days of jinxing kickers are over.
No, don't jinx the jinxer, all
We've-
right? Okay, don't start doing
We
that.
do have another 3 games to go tomorrow, so plenty of time yet. But Graham on point with that one, which takes it out to a 10-point lead. So it's the Russell Gordon Contractors, Mount Albert Lions 24, Burger King, Mangere East Hawks 14, with about 9 minutes to go. Remembering, Mangere East are playing with 12 men after the professional foul. So what can the Hawks come up with now and try and create a finish to this game? And they've played pretty well, have the Hawks, aside from their high error rate. They've defended well, scored a couple of really nice tries. Dunn now gets into dummy half, finds down Snell, good tackle on halfway, up around the legs.
It was a good drive, took his feet out from under him.
It was Pakiito on the initial contact. Now Joseph Price, and watch for his footwork at the line. He's causing trouble now, is Price. Kaulu up towards the 40.
Good fake to the right, he's come left.
Tua fends off the initial one, but held around the ankles by Brown. Had a good game again today, has Howie Brown. Pulos Latu down that left edge. Looks like he's playing in the centres now, Latu. Obviously a little reshuffle going on somewhere. Wallace goes to the skies. Tua's at the back. Purcell does really well to get back and field that one. Another of the Hawks who's had a really fine game today, Marlon Purcell.
Best haircut in the game.
And Troy, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm sure you gave that award to Corey Seeger in the first half.
Oh, they both got names, Corey, haven't they? Your haircut's not bad either, son.
Back to the rugby league again, and that is Hair Chat, hopefully over for today. We do have the live stream tomorrow and plenty of time to talk about the haircuts. I don't know if you would
there'll be some
comment on some of the ladies' haircuts tomorrow.
There'll be some fabulous haircuts down there today. Make sure you join us on the Auckland Rugby League website, aucklandleague.co.nz. I'll be there alongside with my best mate Corey as we call 3 matches down there with some special guests. It's going to be a fantastic day. Get into it.
Howie Brown now shifts play out towards the left, and they need something, and they need it quick here, the Mangere East Hawks. High ball here at the back. Taulu's got no one around him and fields it really well. Nicely taken at the back by Cortez, and the return's good as well. Battling for that quick play of the ball, so scrappy little play there at the back, and it's going to be a Mangere East knock-on, I think. We wait for confirmation.
And again, we hear Whakatane is not far from the Auckland district, as is Te Araha, and I dare say young Lorraine down there is into the 5th round of the shouts for all of our rugby league fans down there watching in the bar and bistro, and we're really pleased to have you all on board. And certainly young Corey be a son to be proud of, Lorraine.
Thanks for those kind words, Troy. Not too sure what to make of that. But
my free meal, Lorraine, when I come back to town.
So the Hawks. So I think we've had a legal win against the scrum there, Troy. Very confusing as to
yeah, I'm not sure what that is,
what's
mate.
gone on there. It was a Mangere East feed, which somehow Henry Dunn's come out with the ball. We've got a penalty at the end of it, so there's still some life in the Hawks here. We've got 5 minutes left.
It's like getting a free whopper through the drive-through. No one's saying anything. We're just going to take it and go.
So here come the Hawks now, and it's now or never for them. They need a try, and they need it probably in this set, you would think. Nice involvement there from Ari. Late call-up in the place of Vinnie Chan. Lavomai at the dummy half. Finds Brown back in on the inside.
Good
Spread
ball.
out towards the left.
Back.
And knock on there, I think, from Sita. Purcell's picked the ball up, almost wore a big shot over the top. I think we're going to have Mangere East ball, I think, at the end of all this. A little hard to tell exactly what is going on here as we look over the far side of the field with our referee.
Once again, just like to say we've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves down here at the Hawks home. And thank you to all the volunteers who have helped deliver the game today, all the young men who are out getting the field set up. Big appreciation. Here comes the Lions on attack.
So Mount Albert now a chance to close this game out. You would think complete the set, and it is game over. And Mount Albert chalk up a vital win in their quest to climb up the competition ladder, currently sitting in 4th. So up to the 40 now, Mount Albert, with that numerical advantage and starting to be a few tired bodies out there for the Burger King Mangere East Hawks. And should...
Got a break.
JP again, we mentioned that footwork at the line, and here we go. He's going to make them pay as Joseph Price had the pass potentially on
Yeah, no, he was going to the line himself. He had already seen that in his vision.
And in the end, Henry Dunn saves his blushes by diving over from dummy half. And I dare say you probably have a quick word to JP there about passing to the open man on his shoulder. But they get the result they wanted in the end anyway. The Russell and Gordon contract is Mount Albert Lions, and that will ice the result here. So this win is going to take Mount Albert up to 19 points. Depending what's gone on in the other games today, we've got Glenora, of course, taking on Papakura.
Just to confirm, was that at home, mate, or was that away?
It's at home, so it is a Connacht Minolta Root Rooster Challenge, so a big game on out there, and hopefully we might be able to bring you an update by full time in this one. The other big game we've got going on in terms of the bearing on the table is Howick travelling out to Richmond to take them on. So potentially Mount Albert, they could jump as high as second with a win today if both Glenora and Howick go down. But either way, up to 19 points, the Lions, and they're all but confirming their spot in the finals. And it's been a very competitive top 5 or 6, particularly in the Fox this year. Not much between those teams. There's not much between any of the teams really. When you look at the way Mangere East, the team down near the bottom of the table, have really tested this Mount Albert Lions team today, and it's a credit to them. Coach Matt Pilmer, they've shown plenty of character today. They've shown, certainly in defence as the kick goes over from Mark Graham, but in defence they've shown a lot to like the Mangere East Hawks. Have put themselves under some unnecessary pressure, which probably has told in the end here. The sin binning hasn't helped them, but a good effort from the Hawks and plenty of life left in the South Auckland club now as they battle to avoid that bottom of the table. They currently hold a 1-point advantage over the Te Atatū Roosters at the bottom. The Roosters with a big game of their own today. They're taking on the Maris Saints, a game that they'll be eyeing up as a really good chance to pick up a win. So do keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz and the Facebook page for results as the siren goes in the background and we play out the last play of the game. Ropati will take the ball forward, and that's going to do us here. So the Mount Albert Lions win this one 30 points to 14 over the Mangere East Hawks in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. And a good game out here at Walter Massey Park, part of a 4-game extravaganza for us this weekend. Of course, tomorrow we are out at Cornwall Park, bringing you the Women in League clash, or the Women in League Day, I should say. We're going to see 3 live-streamed games, under-17s game between Richmond and Otara, followed by Point Chev and Manukau in the pennant competition. And then the big one, Richmond versus Mangere, 2 of the best female teams going around right now in Women's Rugby League. So really looking forward to that one. But this one, if you've joined us late, a real arm wrestle in the early exchanges. It was 14 points to 4 at half-time. And the Mangere East Hawks were showing plenty, but just errors coming out of yardage, a couple of penalties, really let Mount Albert off the hook. And in the end, it probably took a bit of a toll on them defensively for the Mangere East Hawks. They ended the game with 12 men after a sin binning. And in the end, Mount Albert just with enough class to get over the top of them. For Mount Albert, some real individual standouts. Mark Graham on the wing really split the game open at one stage there with a crucial break after a good kick reception. Joseph Price in the middle of the park again, playing big minutes, doing a really good job as well. Marcus Fraser off the bench, the captain. Not too usual that your captain starts off the bench, but he came on, really lifted the performance of some of his teammates. Got Mount Albert clicking in the back part of that second half. For the Hawks as well, a couple of real clear standouts, I thought. In the middle of the park, Vili Tukia, we understand, has won the Hawks Players Player for the last few weeks, and it's not hard to see why. The big fella was excellent through the middle of the park, playing with plenty of energy. More importantly, getting to the quick play the ball as well off the bench. Dave Fa'atiti added plenty, along with Falau Lavomai. And in the halves, Howie Brown, he kept trying. They took a few probably questionable options in attack at times in that game with their short kicking game, but also scored a couple of lovely tries. Their last try up the middle of the park, a thing of beauty following 5 or 6 offloads, kept play alive, and it was great to watch. So an excellent game here in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. We are now going to hear from the captains of both teams, who will be able to give us a little bit of analysis on how this one panned out. But it was a vital one for Mount Albert, who weren't happy with their performance last week in an 18-all draw with the Papakura Sea Eagles. I dare say they still won't be that happy with the performance today. It was probably a bit below what we have seen at times from Mount Albert. But nonetheless, they get So we are now going to hear, first of all, from the captain of the Mangere East Hawks. Made a game that you guys were in until probably the last 20 minutes there. Did the probably defensive toll start to take a bit of an impact?
Yeah, we only had one goal today, and that was to compete. I believe we had a strong first half, but I guess it came down to fitness and just defense at the end.
You made plenty of yardage through the middle of the park, but some of the errors in the first half really killed you guys.
Yeah, I guess it's just the basics, ball security with our players. It's a thing we worked on over the last couple of weeks, but I guess it didn't work out today, and I think we just need to work on it next week.
A vast improvement for you guys, though. You obviously got a pretty convincing beating from Point Chev last week, so it was a real improvement from you guys.
Yeah, it's a big turnaround for our boys after last week's game. I believe that today's squad was a bit, we had more experienced guys today than we had last week. But it's all about just getting these new young guys a taste of Fox footy and just building on that.
You're in the middle of a very hard stretch of games. I think you played the top 5 teams in 5 consecutive weeks. It does come after you guys picked up a couple of big wins. What's the kind of confidence like, I guess, right now among the group at trainings and things like that?
Oh, well, we're trying to keep our confidence high most of the times, but I guess when you play in the top 5 teams, it's hard to hold that as a captain and for the boys as well. I mean, these young guys coming from under 20s and 18s, just slowly trying to get used to Fox. But, you know, we'll try our best to keep these guys' confidence up coming into the next couple of rounds.
I guess a real positive for you guys today. Some of your middles were excellent, particularly off the bench. You got plenty of impact there.
Yeah, we got strong young boys come off the bench for our props. And our 4-pack is just powerful, but I guess it just came down to fitness and little areas that we can work on.
Commiserations on the loss today, but all the best for next week.
Cheers, thank you, appreciate it.
We're all good. Okay, we've got the winning captain here from the Mount Albert Lions, sponsored by Russell Gordon. And mate, first thoughts in regards to that match?
It was good to get back on the winning circle after drawing with Papakura and losing to Howick the week before. So it was good to get the win, but obviously in that start of that second half we really struggled holding the ball. And it shows against anyone that if you don't complete sets, you really get on the back foot.
Mangere East, certainly, as you alluded to on that second half, they tried a couple of grubber kicks, they tried to go to the air a couple of times, and then they actually forced it wide. Yeah. They scored a couple of tries, they got across the line, then they actually took the lead. What was the chat to your team at that time, Trent?
Yeah, I guess we knew that they had nothing to lose. They were going to throw the ball around, do flick passes and all sorts, so we knew that we just had to keep getting to our processes, keep getting to the grind and complete sets, and once we started doing that in the tail end of the second half, we went all right and got a few tries and really blew through them in the fitness side of things, I guess, as well.
Yeah, look, and I don't think it helped with that last 10 minutes, one of their boys getting binned, and certainly the accelerator came down there. What was the chat at half-time with Coach?
Yeah, we were all right. We knew we were going good. We started off really well. We kind of fell apart a little bit at the tail end of that first half, and it just goes back to completing sets and getting back on that front foot. We knew we were a fitter side, but yeah, it's just holding the ball, really. Yeah.
Seeing young Marcus come off the bench, that certainly changed the ruck play. You guys had a wee bit more structure and a bit more speed there. Injury there, or was it just part of the strategy you have him as an impact player?
Yeah, we just changed it up this week to see how it went, and we thought it went pretty well. Marcus is really good darting out of hooker, so getting him a bit fresher when they've got a few tired forwards really strengthened us, and he really held the middle together as well.
Outside of your own game, mate, because I thought you went pretty well.
Got a meat pie. Yeah, can't complain about that.
Who else stood up for you today as captain?
Dion Snell. Buzz always goes really well. He's tough through the middle. We actually moved him into prop for the first time this week, and he went really well. Really strengthened us through the middle. And JP, Joseph Price, he went really well as well. He's a really good player, and he's really good on his feet, hard to stop. Yeah. Awesome.
Sounds like he'll be shouting about a round of drinks for the fellas on that wrap. Yeah. Well, listen, mate, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, congratulations on your win today. Awesome. And looking forward to seeing you go around in the round 14 next week.
Yeah, cool. Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Well, look, my name's Troy Hardy. On behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, thank you for joining us on the live stream today at the SAS Fox Memorial Live League match. Corey, come back, Corey. Come on. You can't be out there by yourself. Your mother will be upset. There's Corey, co-commentator, who helps put the show together. Is that we spend a lot of time and effort into that, mate, and I know you do a lot of homework. We've got a big day today, big day today, but a big day tomorrow as we go live with the Women in Leagues match. And there's about 9 games being played down there, Corey, at Cornwall, and we're going to live stream 3 of those, and the big match on that day is going to be Richmond Roses up against the Mangere Wahinis, and that's going to be a massive clash. So, mate, what are you looking forward to out of that one?
Yeah, well, one that really jumps out to me is we're going to see a whole lot of Kiwi Ferns talent on display and leading into the World Cup. That's really exciting. We're going to see a lot of the girls in their combinations. You know, we're going to see Georgia Hale in action for Richmond, Serena Clark, formerly Piso, in action for Mangere. So really looking forward to that. And look, just a great celebration of Women in League, and a credit to the Auckland Rugby League for putting it on. So going to be a great day. So do join us. If you can't get down to Cornwall Park tomorrow, join us. It's going to be a good day. There's going to be rugby league from the young girls right up to the seniors. So it should be a great day.
Awesome, mate. Be a great day. So make sure you do join us. Get down there. If you can't make it to Cornwall Park, we're kicking off around 11 a.m. Then get online on the Auckland Rugby League website, aucklandleague.co.nz. Join us on the live stream. Corey and I will be back tomorrow with you live. Come and join the action. Thanks very much for watching the SAS Fox Memorial here today at the home of the Hawks.
See you tomorrow.